Welcome to Everything You Need to Know in 3 minutes. I'm Michael Brooks. Twice a week on Everything You Need to Know, I pick a topic, sometimes funny, sometimes wonky, break it down for you, give you everything you need to know. On this edition, is America becoming a more liberal place? 3 minutes starts right now. Yes, it is. According to Peter Beinart, a writer for The Atlantic magazine, America is becoming a more tolerant, more liberal place. In spite of all of the Republican backlash, in spite of the Donald Trump parade and the Republican clown car and all the nonsense, we are becoming a more liberal country. Why? There's several reasons for this, according to Peter Beinart, including millennials being more liberal, including changing attitudes about crime and the economy. But the two prime reasons that he focuses on are the presidencies of George W. Bush and Barack Obama. Now, George W. Bush, through being a complete failure as president, helped, according to Beinart, wipe out the centrist conservative wing of the Democratic Party. And those Democrats that wanted to attack the Democratic Party from the right and go along with George W. Bush in invading Iraq, in deregulating Wall Street, and giving tax breaks for the wealthiest Americans, they were completely discredited by the Bush era. And even those that went along with him somewhat, like Hillary Clinton, have had to apologize and reverse themselves. Also, during the Bush era, the backlash against him was so intense that it created the rise of the progressive netroots. It led to people like Jon Stewart getting a massive national platform and popularity. It led to things like the creation of the Majority Report, which sadly Peter Beinart does not mention. That liberal infrastructure helped lead to the election of Barack Obama, who is a more or less liberal president. I would argue he's still very much a centrist president. But during his time, what Beinart focuses on are two movements that arose during the Obama presidency. The first was Occupy Wall Street. These were young people who, of course, came out and occupied Wall Street and public squares and business areas across the country in 2011 to deal with the crisis of inequality, to deal with the fact that Wall Street and the financial sector was still pillaging the country even after causing a global economic meltdown. President Obama wasn't solving the problem, and love him or hate him, organizing was required beyond just getting someone you liked elected president. The Black Lives Matter movement did the same thing with regard to the horrific realities of policing in communities of color. And both of these movements, radical, organized, are pushing us in a more radical direction, which is allowing us to go in a more liberal direction. That's where the Democratic Party is going. That's where the country's going. The game is still rigged against most of us, but we can push it with the right approach. That's everything you need to know in 3 minutes.